Okay. Hello everybody. Hold up, just a second. Hello everybody, how do I sound? Alright. Yeah, hello everybody, my name is Akari, Kogoshi, whatever you want to call me, whatever. So in this video I will be talking about Fire Force and its release. So Fire Force Online, which is now going to be called Fire Force Online Reignition, will be released on Monday the 30th of March 2025. Please note, before I get on with this video, that most of my information may be inaccurate due to the developers constantly updating the small details of the game, such as like level requirements and stuff like that. However, I am making this video in order to give people the general idea of how the game works. I am actually in the background playing footage of how the game used to work, how it used to look and everything. Me playing with some of my friends. The footage will circulate throughout the video. And let's get on to the next part, which will be what the game is about. Fire Force Online Reignition, or FFO R, is a Fire Force RPG game that involves forms of PvE and PvP. You farm levels while exploring the game, creating builds that suit your playstyle, and possibly you could decide to form groups with friends and protect the place. Or you can be the chaos and wreak havoc, basically. Now, when you spawn in, you will be prompted with the usual gender and name choice. Once chosen, you'll be given a random clan, clothing set, hair color, eye color, face, which includes like mouth, nose, and eyes, and potentially you can get a facial marking. You will be able to keep your hair ID. And yeah, that allows you to basically, the game does not choose your hair for you. It allows you to, once you spawn into the game, you will pick between like three it's not gonna come out as a prompt, but like it's like something that you venture out to go and do. You have 3 different factions: Infernals, Fire Force, and the White Clad. To become a White Clad, you must obtain the or what was it called? I cannot remember, but I think it was like Fog or something, or like I cannot remember what the title was, but you'll get a title. It will change from civilian to something else, but and then you change your title by getting negative reputation. You can gain negative reputation by turning the cat NPC into the slums. The slums is already gonna be reworked, so I cannot tell you exactly where, but you need to go to the slums, and then you turn in the cat, and then you will get some negative reputation. To get Fire Force, you need to do the same. Wait, I forgot something. There's also pop-up missions. This is both for Fire Force and White Clad. There's pop-up missions, and you basically have to choose the wrong option, which would, like, in terms of morals. So like, if they tell you to help somebody get up, you walk away from them, stuff like that. That's just an example. For Fire Force, you can gain you get Fire Force from gaining the respective civilian title. You need to turn in the cat to the police office, or you can wait for the pop-up missions, which give you a higher percentage of reputation, and do the good things, which would be like healing the cat or something like that, instead of like leaving it out to die or something like that. To become an Infernal, it does not matter what reputation you are. You just need to gather about 5 Infernal ashes along with roughly $500 to make and then you can make your way to the White Clad base. You can reach there unless they've changed the map. You can reach there by going to the desert, and then going into the sewers from the desert. There will be an NPC in white clad uniform, unless they've changed it, and he will turn you into an infernal. Now, when you want to level up, you must do missions or grip players. There's no other way. All right. You can when you're doing missions get things like soul augments. There are red soul augments and green soul augments. Red soul augments are usually better than the green soul augments. There's one which is called EXP King. If you're trying to farm levels really quickly, go for that, because that gives you more EXP, and I believe it gives you high chance to like get drops and stuff like that. It is recommended that you join a faction before you start leveling up, unless you're a sweat and you do not care about factions. You can do phone missions if you want to do like the PvE route, and there are some PvP quests or missions in the phone mission, but majority of them are PvE. You do PvE until you reach about, I think it's rank 35. Once you reach rank 35, you will unlock elite missions, and then you just do those missions until rank 55. Unless you want to keep doing normal phone missions, you can. It's just that it will be a little bit slower because elite missions give a little bit more experience than phone missions. Now we're moving on to late game information. You're going to probably be wondering about meta. The meta in the game was very overpowered. Like I'm telling you, like so some of the stuff that you dealt with, like if you're looking in my video right now, you can see that sword ability that guy was using. You see the flowers coming out of that guy. That ability is called Stilled for Death. It is meta, and it's also a mode, and I will explain what Stilled for Death is later on. But one of the metas we're actually using that Stilled for Death, and you see that ability that he has. It's called Pedal or Petal, whichever one you want to call it. It's basically flowers. Every form of action that you do, like flowers come out of you. So like if you were to punch, flowers will come out. If you were to heavy attack, flowers, and so forth. It was really overpowered. It did a lot of damage and stun. So in terms of meta, the way the game works is that the meta is gonna now with how the game is working now, the meta is going to be changing quite frequently now because of accessories, new accessories, potentially new like combat systems and stuff like that. So maybe you guys could be like the guys that create like some new metas, honestly. Now modes, like I was talking about earlier, there's Stilled for Death, and then there's Stilled for Death V2, there's a Dollar Burst, and then there's an Infernal mode. I think it is called like Blitz or something. No, it's not Blitz. It's like Berserk or something. No, it's like I cannot remember. Scorched. Yes, it was called Scorched. Yes, Scorched. Yeah, the mode was called Scorched. And these 4 different modes, I cannot count. Some are exclusive to certain factions, and some are exclusive to certain generations. You for each of the modes there is a level requirement which can change, so I'm not going to tell you one, but if they do not change it, it's probably going to be somewhere around level 45. You need to do a level, you need to gain like levels, get to that level, then there will be like a quest. The stats and what you need to do with the quest will vary because, well, I don't really know the exact requirements, but once you reach those requirements, you'll be able to obtain the mode. Once you obtain the mode, as you can see on my screen, there's a whole bar which is filled, which is called, which when I press G, it will enable my mode. I am not too sure when I actually activate the mode, but when I do activate the mode, I'll get like that same thing that guy was using earlier with that pedal / Stilled for Death. I do, or at least I did have a Dolo on this account, but I did not use it because I found Stilled for Death better to use over my abilities a Dolo. Because let me quickly explain like what a Dolo is. It is an ability exclusive like mode, which like it gives you 2 moves, but some Adolas are worse than other Adolas. And I cannot see. Oh, I believe I am Generation 1. So yeah, Generation 1. Generation 1 cannot get Adolas. But beforehand, I had Footprint, Devil's Footprint, and the mode was okay, but I was bad at using it. So I actually spun off Footprint, and then I went for Generation 1 and went Stilled for Death, and started my progression for Stilled for Death version 2. I never managed to get version 2 because there was a parkour thing which I could not do. I am horrible at parkour. So let me tell you the like base requirements for the modes. Scorched, you need to be an Infernal to get Scorched. Stilled for Death via version 2. you need to be a generation 1. Adola Bus, you need to be generation 2 or generation 3. And Steel for Death is universal, apart from the fact that well, it's exclusive to humans, but regardless of generation, you can get Steel for Death. Next up is augments. Well, augments are passive. Oh my lord, hold up. Augments are passive status effects. That change the color of your. Sorry, my brain is freezing. That change the color of your ability and your Adola mark, which they've recently added to the game. They are obtained from winning a set amount of rank matches. There's like in rank that you get like, if you get like 50 rank tokens, which you 1 per every win, you get a token per every win. You can buy like an augment, and it'll be like in the stock system. You can also grind like 300 dungeon tokens, and you'll be able to get an augment that way. Or you can test your luck and try and win faction events and get an augment from that. They're extremely rare, and they are tradable, but only if they're not like from like codes or something like that. Generations are like, I'm gonna talk about like, because you guys have probably been hearing me talk about generations and stuff like that. I'm just gonna talk about all these side stuff that like you have probably heard me talk about and not really understand. So now's the time. Generations are a class type of abilities that were made in the anime/manga, with Gen 1 given no fire powers, Gen 2 the ability to control fire, and Gen 3 the ability to make fire. In Fire Force Online Reignition, Generation 1 is given the option to choose what ability they want from trainers, and most of these trainers are specialists in melee weapons. However, some of the trainers actually have like projectile like moves. Generation 2 are given the ability to use weapons, but only like melee weapons. So like if you had the gun ability, you would be able to use like the gun, but like there's no like special like melee moves for the gun. So like the gun, you would just be able to use the weapon itself. And then you need to like smoke or like start a fire with like a lighter, and then you'll be able to use your fire abilities. Generation 3 allows you to basically use your fire abilities whenever you please, but just have to be aware that of the overheat. If you are an Infernal, generations do not really count. The entire system is actually like abolished unless they've changed it. All abilities for Infernal are the same generation. Overall, I would say that all the abilities are generally good, but like it's one of those games where like, yeah, there are some abilities which are better than others. However, skill over ability, that is all I can say. Trading in the game is actually a system that has been added. It is basic. It's like every other trading system. You select a number of items, then you click accept. However, you need to be careful because the game does not it does not auto like unaccept when someone changes something about the trade, so you need to be always paying attention in case someone attempts to scam you. When you're trading, you need to note, like I was talking about earlier, you cannot trade locked items. Locked items would be like clan rewards that you possibly got from code and stuff like that. Or if the devs decide to lock a specific item, then you cannot trade it. When you load into the game, you will most definitely notice 3 bars, and maybe 4 if you're Gen 2. Green for health, red for overheat, blue for energy, and the other bar will be for your fuel. Health bar shows how much health you have until you will get knocked. Energy bar allows you to use moves, and like if you don't have enough energy, you cannot use moves. What's it called? If you the red bar, if you use too many moves, your red bar, which in this game is actually that sidebar over here. I'm not sure whether my mouse is showing. It's that sidebar over here, and it stops you from being able to use like abilities, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt you. It does not make you take more damage. It just makes you unable to use your abilities in the game. I believe that is about it, because I've talked about how the overheat bar is like a regulator, energy bar is like a requirement thing, health bar. Okay, yeah, I believe that is about it. If there are any questions, you can ask me, but you're better off going to the Discord server. As you can see, well, not see, but like, as I'm hoping for everyone, you are excited for the release, for the people who are actually returning players. This video is more like a pre-info video, and this is kind of to like make people know what they're like going to expect. I made a video earlier, like about like 3 hours ago, about I was just ranting, no structure. But this one kind of has a little bit of structure, and I kind of knew what I wanted to say. I'm gonna start yapping again, so I'm just gonna end the video here. But if you did enjoy this video or found it useful in any shape or form, you can like the video, you can share the video, somehow give me some attention for my videos, would be nice. I honestly do not really like speaking because my throat, and I don't like speaking. But yeah, 6 days until release, unless when I edit this video I take like 3 days to edit, but right now it is the 24th, so 6 days from now. That is about it. Yeah, 20 minutes of recording. I will see y'all later. Bro, I need to drink some water, bro. Alright, peace and love and hope.